What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to listen to me. Today, I want to go over everything related to cheat meals, how to use them, if you should use them. I don't have the, regular view on cheat meals, I would call it. So I want to kind of dive into that and why I think like that and what you should be doing with regards to cheat meals. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. Like the video if you end up liking it. If you don't end up liking it, just give me a dislike. Hopefully you do. Anyway, hope everyone gives you some value. Let's get after it. Now, to start us off, I just want to make sure we're on the same page of what a cheat meal actually is and what I kind of define it as. To me, it's just a high-calorie meal of that typical junk food or bad food that you think of. So ice cream, Dairy Queen or something like that, cheesecake, donuts, all that stuff. Now, just to be straight up out of the bat, I'm not a fan of cheat meals at all. I do not like cheat meals, okay? And there's a few reasons for that. First of all, people abuse the shit out of them. They go nuts, they have no limits, and that's what usually a cheat meal is. There's no limits on the amount of calories in food. You're just going crazy. You go to McDonald's and you just go nuts with your calories, and it can really bring you overboard. When you give somebody no restrictions on a meal after they've been dieting for, let's say, 3 months, you have no idea how much they can eat. They could go crazy and eat 8,000 in a meal. I know it seems like nuts and you're like, oh my God, that's crazy. But trust me, if you're like dieting for a show, you can eat that in a meal. Your stomach won't get full. You'll feel like shit, might throw up, but you'll still eat it. You'll still get it. And if you keep 8,000 calories down, that could ruin a few weeks of progress. So I don't like the no restriction part if people do that. If you have more of a controlled cheat meal, I guess if you want to call it, that's kind of what I like. And that means you can fit it into your calories for the day instead of adding it on top of your calories for the day. So if you add this cheat meal of, let's say, 1,000 calories on top of your calories you're already having for the day, you're in a surplus or whatever of 1,000 calories. That's gonna cancel out some progress that you don't need to do. You can fit that into your calories for the day. And I wouldn't even refer to this as a cheat meal. It's just a meal you're fitting into your calories that you wanna have. If you're really craving some cheesecake, you can fit that into your calories for the day instead of going overboard and having it on top of the calories you're already having and possibly canceling out a week or something worth of progress. And I'm not trying to scare you guys, but that does happen and it can happen. If you've been dieting, you can eat a lot in a meal, especially when you give yourself no restrictions. So what I like to do is just fit it in to my calories. As I said, like if I sometimes crave Domino's pizza, okay? And usually it's a medium, it's probably around 1,500 calories, and I know that is a lot, but I will still fit that into my calories. And there's a few things I'll do, which I'll talk about later, but that's all you need to do. You don't need to add 1,500 calories on top of my, let's say, 2,500 calories. That's excessive. You don't need to do that. That's kind of just a cheat day at that point, and that's even worse. Don't get me started on cheat days. Holy fuck. But yeah, you don't need to add it on top of your calories for the day. Just fit it in. People that are advocates of these crazy cheat meals are usually old school bodybuilders that still love these nice meal plans, that they eat the same food every day. They think they're one-upping everybody because they eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. That's old news, old information, outdated information. You don't need to do that. There's no need to put yourself through that struggle. If you don't want to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice every single day, please don't fucking do it. Don't. There's no need. You're not going to see any more progress than myself eating nice protein ice cream, protein pancakes, and food I love every single day. Think of this, like you're eating every single day. Why are you torturing yourself with terrible food? Like, how is that a way to live life at all? That's not sustainable. Sure, you might do it for a month or two, or a few months for a show, but it's not long-term sustainable, and you're just gonna gain the weight back. You need to find a long-term sustainable diet, and if that means fitting in a 1,500 calorie pizza or a few slices of cheesecake every now and then, go ahead. What's wrong with that? There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, you guys know that if you're in a calorie deficit, no matter what, you'll lose weight, and technically, yes, you could eat this pizza and donuts and everything and still be in a calorie deficit and lose weight, but that is not optimal. You guys already know that. I don't really need to go over that a lot. If you do that, you're not gonna be full at all, probably feel like shit, cascade of bad effects, okay? It's not great food for you, health-wise as well. So it's not something we wanna do just because we can. When trying to fit this food in, I have a few tips you can implement. First one, intermittent fasting. So on the days where you know you wanna fit in you know, a really high calorie meal, that's what I'll call it, not a cheat meal, then make sure you give intermittent fasting a shot. Or you don't have to, like if you really don't like intermittent fasting, don't do it, but I like to use intermittent fasting on these days. Pushes my meal timing towards the end of the day so I can make sure I can fit in that pizza or whatever it is within that time period, which is gonna be less, so I'm less likely to overeat and be absolutely starving. So during your fasting period, drink tons of water, maybe a couple black coffees, and that should do the trick. But if you don't like it, no problem. The main point I'm trying to make here is just don't go crazy with these cheat meals. There's no need to have these overboard, excessive cheat meals that usually turn into cheat days. Have a structured plan to eat, you know, whatever food you want within your calorie goal so you don't ruin progress that you've worked so hard to get. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got some value out of this. I appreciate it. Like the video if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.